Sup everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today I wanted to give a quick update on the Bronco. I've been doing some work and it's not as good as I thought it was, but you guys will see here in a second. Do me a favor and give this video a like if you liked it, and if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe because I've got a ton of videos on this Bronco. It's probably going to take me a couple of years to finish it, so you'll see how bad it is back here, but it's a little discouraging, but I'm going to talk through my process of how we're going to tackle it. In my previous videos, I knew that the post that held the door in was bad. In order to get access to it, I had to take the fender off. Every single bolt that was holding the fender in was completely rusted, so I had to cut it all off. And fast forward many hours, and the fender's off. I have cut this complete kick panel out with a spot weld cutter. It looks nasty. Thankfully, the firewall's all solid, so all the metal up here is good to go. I have not cut out this panel yet. It's still holding in place. And because of all this, seeing where I had to cut spot welds out, I ended up taking out the floor, or most of it, because it was bad. I bought a pack of these spot weld cutter things off of Amazon, like 30 of them for like 20 bucks. They've been great. I've only used 2, and I've probably cut, 80 spot welds. It's really made my life 1,000 times easier. As I've been cutting, I just look and see how much rust there is, and my worry is I take a panel out, and okay, just put a new panel in, weld it to another panel, but that other panel will be rusty, and just when does it stop? Thankfully, the firewall's all solid, like that's some sound deadening material up there. It is very solid behind that. That piece there is good. This technically is fine, but it is very crusty. I'll show you more in a second, but hallelujah, the brace that holds the entire floor in is actually very solid. Like, I have not touched this yet. The only exception is the thing that holds the seat belts in. There's like 2 weld nuts in here that the top piece rusted off, but we can fix that. Again, the front one's really solid. This is where the body mount bolts to. It's all solid. The rubber's toast, but you kind of get a look here too at the frame. The frame is just crusty looking, but is very solid. There was a lot of fiberglass in the back here, and I just ripped it all out to really assess how bad it is, and it's really bad. Thankfully, I do have these metal panels that you can kind of see how it would go, but I made a decision that I want to share with you guys as far as what we're going to do in phase 1 of this fix. I've done this several times in the past where I'll spend 100 hours and thousands of dollars on a vehicle that I've never driven, and it just starts to eat away at your soul after a while. You spend so much time and energy and money on something that you've never fully enjoyed, and you ask yourself halfway through why you're doing this. So I've decided that the front half of this truck, so the passenger driver's seat, the kick panel, the inner fenders, I'm going to fully replace that, make it super nice, hang the doors, make sure they fit, and then I'm going to call it quits at that point, because if I need to start replacing all the other panels, it's just going to snowball out of control. What I believe I can do is lay the whole new floor panel down here, and it spot welds to the back half of the truck. Instead of spot welding it, I'm just going to put some sheet metal screws through it for the time being, because what I'm going to do is I'm either going to do this myself or I'm leaning towards just buying it, but the whole back half, so the B pillars entirely back, I'm going to fully replace. It's just so far gone. You can kind of see a better picture now. Like, obviously that's all gone, so this little kick panel's bad, the tub is bad, the inner panel here is bad, the inner rear quarter is bad, where they match up to is bad because it's filled with silicone and bondo. The passenger side is actually better than the driver's side. The driver's side is toast. It is so bad. It's just fiberglass everywhere. So I could just cut it all out and replace it just piece by piece. I may go that route, but I'm heavily leaning towards just paying someone, a professional, to build the entire back half. That way I can get it, bring it in, and just plop it on the body mount holes, and then where the floor is, this floor sits on top of it. I'll shimmy it in, and I'll be good to go. The reason I'm leaning towards this is because this would replace the whole back half, so this would be all primed, and this would be all red. It would look like a hodgepodge, and then have to do a full paint job, and I do not want to do that right now. I want to enjoy this truck, get some seat time with it, and then go from there. So this allows us to get the seats back in, gets us to close the doors, so we can actually start driving it and fix all the mechanicals and suspension and stuff first, then get to the back, because it's ugly, but it's functional. It's not going anywhere. I was lucky enough to go to the Super Bronco celebration in Townsend, Tennessee about a month ago. I scored a ton of used sheet metal, which super thankful for. Saved me a ton, and it's gonna kind of lead the way towards getting this thing back up and running for phase one. Some of these parts are new, some of them are used. These floor panels are all used. They're like patch panel pieces because they have these additional lips here for putting spot welds to, but I'm gonna fully place that in. There's the passenger side whole floor panel. This is the whole driver side thing we were just looking at. I'm gonna put that all in. Here's a replacement driver side piece, and obviously we got the seats out. We had to cut half the bolts. This driver side seat was literally held in with all thread, so you can kind of see where I'm getting at. This thing just needs a lot of love. But keep in mind, this was running and driving and when I started taking it apart, and I intend to get it back together soon so I can keep up the running and driving piece, make it a really nice running and driving vehicle. I've got more panels here. I got a bunch of panels in the back. You know the deal. But that's enough to get us with the front section, and we'll be hopefully getting more to that soon. And I'll have more videos about the process I go through for this. If you're a Bronco enthusiast watching this, I hope this helps kind of make you not super anxious about how much work there is to do on these. I now fully know why they are so expensive. The metal's not that expensive, it's the time. And because everyone wants a non-rusty Bronco, that's why they're worth so much money, because it's such a pain in the ass to get to this point. So I got a really, really cheap one. At the end of the day, I hope to be cheaper than a nicer one, but if you factor in my hours, it probably is about the same cost as one of those expensive ones. So, but it's a journey. I thoroughly enjoy these vehicles. I knew what I was kind of getting into a little bit, maybe not as bad as this, but I knew that the territory of these Broncos is rust, and you either got to pay someone to do it or do it yourself. And part of why we got this garage. I wanted someone to work on a Bronco like this or a project. And so I'm going to do more detailed videos in the future, but I want to do a quick recap to kind of show you where we're at with this thing. I'm excited that we'll be able to keep this Bronco looking the way it is. It's kind of got this weird patina vibe to it, even though it's not the original paint on top. It'll allow us to actually drive and have some fun with it. Goal is to get it up and running by the end of the summer, put it back on the road. So that would be fun. We got lots more videos coming. I'm going to do my best to put out more regular content. I've got a ton of garage videos that I'm going to start filming for and editing. Again, the goal is to put stuff out every Saturday, so I really appreciate everyone watching. If you got any questions, leave a comment below. Find me on social, Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty active there. Really appreciate you guys watching. Catch you guys later. Peace out.